Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda.
All right, good evening, people, and welcome to another week of this absolute shit show. As you've seen this morning, Trump, another assassination. I got up this morning and then ended up on a space, actually, and then, was looking around and seeing all this stuff come in about another hit on the big fella. Well, what else have they got to do, guys? Because things are not looking good for them, and things aren't looking good for us. You know what I mean? It's an arm wrestle. So do we get there? Yeah, I believe we get there. Don't worry. But man, these guys are not letting up on the Australian people. They're coming down very, very hard on us. This disinformation thing, guys, is next level. But we'll see how we can get around that, what we can do. If you want, maybe a new section, because I don't go there very often. But look, I went to the barber today, guys. I have my barber who's very well awake and follows all the financial side. And for any of you financial gurus, a tip for between the 21st and the 25th or something. I don't know, but there you go. It's a tip from the barber. Right, I've seen Project Matilda, guys. All right, now we don't want to lose this platform. Daniel's struggling. All right, we're still sitting on Facebook, and we could be over at Project Matilda. All right, because it's our platform. It was built for us. Okay, so we need to go and help Daniel out, because otherwise we're going to lose that, and then we don't need to lose the channel, guys. All right. There are people over there, but we've not got enough people at Project Matilda. And Daniel's going to need some help, guys. All right, he built it for you. So this is where we've got to come to our own, guys, and try and help each other, all right? Looking good, don't know about that, looking old, but anyway, I'm happy about a few things. Now, with Trump, this guy's Hawaiian too, right? And I was in a space today with some pretty, it was a pretty decent space, actually. Was told about these Hawaiian hit squads that they have that'll head out to the USA and just do absolutely anything, guys. All right. So, that's where this guy supposedly come from, is that. Okay. So, grand finals. It's around grand final time, guys. I'll be going to watch a few. What I just want to say to everyone is stay cool. All right, I've seen some, hectic injuries already. We don't need fights on the field. We don't need fights in the spectators. All right, so anyone going to sporting finals this weekend or grand finals, just have a think about it. All right, and be there to quell the fire if it starts. All right, and not add to it, because it's getting. Our sport's getting worse and worse every year. We see these grand finals. There's one young kid in a coma in hospital in a coma. All right, under 17s in Sydney, I think it was. Okay, we don't know yet. But anyway, they were getting the footage in, but it was a big blue. Under 17s. Don't need it, guys. Because there's too much other stuff going on. Like the casino wants government assistance, guys. Don't worry about our homeless or anybody else. But the casinos are screaming out for assistance because they're doing it hard in the economic decline. Yeah, well, guess what? Anyway, they'll probably get assistance. And the other thing is, we got to get more whistleblowers out there because we're losing them quick, guys. All right, the ABC whistleblower on Kamala about having the questions in advance just happened to die in a auto accident. All right, just a couple of days. All right, he didn't. Cazz is telling me he didn't. All right, I've heard he did. But anyway, we're going to hold that one. That one's back on the shelf. Where did he come in, Cazz? I'm done up anyway. Come in. What's going on? Talk to me.
Yeah, no, I had a bit of a look into that. No, I can't find any confirmation on that. There was a rumor circulating, but it is interesting because, it's almost like they are inviting it, like the way they've put it out. Because I'm just bringing it up here.
I heard a bit of chatter about it today. That's why I was a bit confident about it, Cazz.
No, it was circulating on social media. But so the Kamala campaign is in big trouble because the whistleblower's affidavit has been released, showing that the ABC colluded with the campaign, which is illegal. And anyway, and was prepared to and in other threads, it said he was prepared to testify in front of Senate in the next couple of days. And I thought, gosh, that's inviting a suicide attempt, an Arkansas, really, isn't it?
Well, maybe it's a premonition. Anyway, sorry if I got that one gone, guys. But yeah, that's back on the shelf till we find out more.
At the moment, I haven't been able to confirm it. Yeah. So,
there's a little bit of chat about it today. So yeah, I was taking it that Anyway. We will find out because the smoke hasn't settled yet, and that's all new undertakings that we've heard there, guys. So, yeah, we will undertakings, pardon the pun. Anyway.
All right,
Cazz, what are we doing? Heaps of news again. How astounding.
Yeah. It's just so much news, guys. It's just incredible. So, head over to the Stop the Rot page because what we can't fit in on here, it's over there. All right, let's kick it off with Rosie, Renegade Rosie.
I've met this gentleman, Mark. He's a filmmaker and he wants to tell you about his experience with COVID and his family's experiences. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, good day. My name's Mark. You just heard. I have had friends that have died from the vaccine 2 days after taking the second dose. A friend of mine died Christmas Day 2022 on the kitchen floor. They found him. I've got nieces and aunties that have had vaccines and they have been nothing but sick. I mean, turbo cancers have exploded 3,000% around the world. I don't know whether you know that, but the vaccines gets into your immune system and kills your killer T cells, which are meant to fight the cancers. Myocarditis is exploding in children. What's going on? Wake up. Wake up.
In your own circle of friends, you've seen a huge amount of damage, haven't you, Mark?
What was that, sorry?
In your own circle of friends, you've seen significant damage.
Oh, sorry, yes, I have. I've seen significant difficulties and injuries caused by the vaccine. I've got friends of mine's wives, sister-in-laws that have died, got cancer, all over the place.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Mark.
It's terrible.
Thank you so much for coming along and meeting us and telling us your story.
No problem, thank you.
Isn't it great to see someone like that actually coming out and bang, 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 It
is happening more often. It's getting hard to deny that. This is one of the reasons why the government wants to put that bill in, because you've got this situation like this is the Japanese. The Japanese are basically, they came out on Friday and said it was a massacre. That was the emeritus professor of a prestigious university over there. Today, Slay's running the story. Top Japanese scientists prove COVID vaccines cause deadly heart failure. So the Japanese are really leading the charge as far as that goes, but they're really incensed because they actually happen to like their population and they don't like their people getting killed, unlike
Yep.
other rulers.
And
All
in
right,
the background, guys, you know, you got Japan and China. They're dumping US bonds and treasuries. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on, and we're going to get a couple of people on. You know, hopefully maybe at the end of this week, right? To actually, I'm prepared to go in and now I know someone and I've watched him for a while. All right, and when I mentioned him to Cazz, she went, "Oh, Troy." So anyway, yeah, we're going to get a couple of people on and actually go into what it is looking like behind the scenes from some people who are actually involved in the financial system and what is happening out there, guys. So we'll try and do that this week. Clear everyone's mind on what's happening.
Good. All right. So just basically wrapping up you've also got this Michaela Mabinti de Prince. She was basically forced to get the COVID vaccine. She's the top ballerina, world's top ballerina. She was dead at age 29. And, of course, more on the soccer field. You've got Malik Toura, professional soccer player. You've also had this, we didn't get to it last week, but there have been nine school football students in August alone that dropped dead, kids.
Just in August. That's in American college football, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, the new normal is kids just die.
Yep.
Oh, they just drop dead.
Yep. Play sport and die. That's the way it is now.
I've never, in all my life, I've never known kids to just drop dead.
Cazz, listen, I have got something here for you. Now, you've hit that topic. I just got to tell you this because, right, there's a new study, right, and these fatal heart attacks, they're actually linked to throat infections. So I just wanted to let you know that that's in the mainstream media. It is throat infection. So what we got to be doing is giving these people eucalyptus lollies before they hit the field, I think. There you go.
Stu Peters is now this is actually a US Harvard professor. Now he's a professor in law, and he's actually said in his interview with Stu Peters that it was a bioweapon of mass destruction. The FDA, CDC, DOD, top officials, and COVID vaccine executives should be charged with mass murder. So, so you've got people from all levels of the spectrum coming out at the moment.
Where have we heard that before? Bioweapon of mass destruction. We've been saying that for how many years, Cazz? How many years? You know, like that. It's just And this was the time that we were looking at when things were going to get hectic. And guess what, guys? On the money again. It's getting pretty hectic out there, and sorry to anyone who's lost anyone, all right? This is a horrible war, guys. So if you have lost family members out there from this bioweapon, all right, have a good think about it because it's time that we need you to, and I've got a little, spool to go out with, guys. We're going to talk about some live streams. But, it's time for you to stand up, guys, for that family member or that you've lost or that disabled member that you've now got, all right, that you're having to look after and care and nurture for. All right, because the time is here, people. All right, so any new people that are watching or anyone injured, we all feel for it. No worries. All right, but the time is now to actually not be a mouse about it, but actually stand up and talk.
Okay, let's have a look at this. You've got this is Russell Broadbent, and he's talking about the disinformation bill.
Today, I urge Australians to stand up and speak out on this bill while you still can.
The call, still member for Monash.
Thank you, Speaker. Today is a dark day and one that does not bode well for the nation. The government's so-called Combating Misinformation Bill marks the beginning of the end for free speech and democracy in Australia. Make no mistake, this bill is another alarming example of overreach and a step towards government tyranny about what we can and cannot discuss. It gives the government unfettered power and control over Australians and their right to exchange ideas, thoughts and opinions. Do you realise what we're risking here? Free speech is the bedrock of democracy, and as Benjamin Franklin said, there is no such thing as public liberty without freedom of speech. The bill compels digital platform providers like X and Facebook to censor content that may contribute to serious harm. But who makes that decision?
We'll leave that one there. Now, what's actually happened is I've got a follow-on one, and here it wraps it up really well.
More sinister even than you characterise it. The coalition must right now make a firm break with its own past, with Scott Morrison and Paul Fletcher, who were the originators of this horrendous idea. Let's be real clear about what this does here. This turns the ACMA bureaucracy into a ministry of truth. This creates two tiers of free speech. One, for people who are protected. Journalists are protected, academics are protected, others are protected. Another for everybody else, which means citizen journalists, people out there on X, which is what they are terrified of, because, of course, that is what undermines official narratives. They are going to be captured by this bill. And what can't you say? Well, they say that all sorts of things now, this is like communist China. This is like Soviet Russia. If you say anything about public health measures, and that could be, by the way, saying, I don't think the ban on vapes is a good idea. I think that is misconstrued. That could be misinformation. Anything that affects financial markets could be deemed misinformation. That could be saying, hey, I'd like to get some Bitcoin because, in case banks collapse because of the property market falls apart, I'm going to have some hedge. That's misinformation. You could get done for that. This bill protects the elite in our society from being questioned by everybody else. This is a huge threat to free speech. The coalition needs to not just say we're going to vote against it, they need to actively fight against it, and they need to also say, whenever anybody says, oh, well, what are you going to do about misinformation? Say, you know what? We believe in free speech. We think people are smart enough to have the debate and work it out for themselves.
And that's the issue, isn't it? Is because this is why free speech was always valued, because it allows you to hear both sides of the story, and it puts the power back in the realm of the people, where they can research it for themselves and come to their own conclusion. They don't want that. They want to have the monopoly on the narrative.
Yeah, well, we've had I went into space the other day, and anyway, it was some of our libertarian friends, okay? But unfortunately, I was in there and I sat back and listened for a while, and then I asked for a mic and I couldn't get one, so I just thought, okay, I'll sit back here and listen for a minute. And then they opened the questions and I still couldn't get a mic. But yeah, we had one of our politicians in there, guys. Hey, I'm just yelling. I'm not going to name you or anything, all right? You will know, okay? But come on, guys. Like, seriously, what, am I going to ask too hard of questions? Is that where we are in this war, is it? That you libertarians, you know what I mean, want to try and capture the market, go so far, but don't want people like me asking the real questions? You just bounced around in that space there for bloody talking about superficial. That ain't, bullshit, I'm going to call it, all right? Because that ain't where we are. All right, where we are in the war, right, is where we are, guys, and it's a critical time. So, again, how about you let me in, let me ask the real questions, guys. I'm not an arsehole. All right, I'll come in asking them the right way. All right, no problem at all, but the real questions will be asked. So, you libertarians out there, you want to win something, how about letting people into the debate, all right? You're as bad as the freaking government holding people out. Well, where's the freedom of speech, guys? You're doing exactly what the government's doing to you, you're doing to me. So there you go.
All right. So the guy by the handle of Damien at the other side has said Albo's vile new misinformation laws will not apply to the government, academics, and the legacy media. Only us. Only you. So it's just incredible. And here's just a little bit of a reminder of what JFK said. A nation that is afraid to let its people judge the truth and falsehood in an open market is a nation that is afraid of its people.
All right.
Yeah.
And to carry on from that, guys, thank you. All right. I had a phone call from the Whistleblower newspaper today. All right. Thanks, guys. That's all I need to say. Thank you. All right. Let's get them. Let's get them out in, our hairdressers, our doctors, so wherever you can get them. All right. Get them out in our cafes. All right, those places where people are lining up to get their coffees and you got the little brochure bits, right? But well done, people. All right. How about we hammer them and get a few more? All right. So great effort, people. All right.
Apologies also. Jody Lowe sent me some new designs and they're hilarious for bins, but I meant to include them, but I forgot to upload them. So I'll do that tomorrow night. All right. Now, this attack on us is happening already in Queensland.
Day in Australia's history, ladies and gentlemen, because this week the Respect at Work and Other Matters Amendment Bill 2024 was passed in Queensland Parliament. Well, what does this mean for you? Well, from now on, we're going to have to police our thoughts and our speech very carefully on social media. And here's why. Any post made on social media now is deemed by this bill to be a public act. And any public act found offensive by a reasonable person of the minority community that it describes is then chargeable under Section 52A of the Criminal Code. And these charges carry a maximum sentence of 3 years jail time. So as you can see, it's not hyperbole to say that this bill paves the way for Queensland citizens to serve jail time for social media posts that offend minorities. This bill is the most egregious encroachment of freedom of speech that I have ever seen in Australia. And worse still, this is a piece of legislation that is self-protecting in the sense that to speak out against it is to be in
contravention of it.
Yep. We all know what it is, guys. All right. This is why it is critical. This is why these pissy spaces like, yesterday's or wherever I was on it, I can't remember. I've been on a few in the last few days. But yeah, not good enough, guys. Really not good enough. Let's get the debate going, okay? Anyway, let's go. Yep.
All right. Shout out to the people setting up
Matter
the
of time that the mainstream media comes clean on the damage that vaccines have done to people. People are dying every day, ambulance after ambulance. No wonder the public health system is up shit creek. Do your job. You are here to serve us. People are sick and injured as a result of these vaccines that were forced on people.
Very good. And also we have the Heston. Now this is just this is unreal. This story, the Heston Russell story, and the bottom line is, for anyone that hasn't followed it, it's actually the ABC did a hit piece on him. But what they did was they actually cut in sound to actually make it look bad, make it look like they fired on civilians.
Last year during my defamation case against the ABC, so I wasn't allowed to legally speak out in the public. And we provided this footage to them over a year ago, showing that this wasn't the case, and they've refused to take any action. So thanks to the crew at Spotlight, we've been able to tell it in detail and expose them for what they are and what they've been doing with taxpayers' money.
So what was your reaction when you saw this removed clip published by the ABC? It contained that altered helmet cam footage of your deployment, making you look like you deliberately targeted an unarmed Afghan civilian.
Yeah, well, I sort of say welcome to my nightmare. I mean, it's kind of just given me this extreme paranoia when you're inside a conspiracy theory and watching, this taxpayer-funded organisation going to the lengths of altering footage, adding gunshots, and then refusing to shift once you provide them with the raw footage. You don't really know what else to do. It's quite a despairing place for me and my family.
You're right.
They just stop at nothing, don't they? They stop at nothing.
It's absolutely shocking that the lengths that they've gone to.
It's the people that, willingly but unwittingly went off to war for the wrong reason, put their life on the line, and now to have their stuff tampered with to actually keep the people above here, all right, all the people up here safe, right, and throw away a few pawns again, guys. This is just how corrupt is our government? How bad is our government? This is wild.
It is wild. And look, we got more attacks. This one's in Melbourne, and this guys, trigger warning. This is horrible. This is a disabled.
And I think it's recent, guys. Okay, I really do.
Teenagers, their violent attack filmed by friends. After taunting her, they punched her repeatedly in the face, throwing her to the ground and kicking her in the head. An elderly man passing by stepped in as the woman lay helpless on the ground at Southern Cross Station. The brutality all proudly posted on social media.
That was angry. You got what you deserve.
They should be locked up. They should be locked up. This is this is what our government's created. Our government is diabolical. You're right, Ryan. Absolutely diabolical, mate. They are created this. They knew they were given the game plan. All right, and you can't tell me that they didn't know what was coming down the track with all the the laws that they've been passing back since ScoMo and that to get this right. And yeah, Morrison. All right, before that, we all know the whole journey, guys. Whether you want to go back to 1933 or 1973 or any of the referendums, like just all a load of crap, So here we are.
All right.
We're ready to take the trophy. Let's go get it.
All right. Now in America, there's been lots of memes posted about the pets eating. This is a good one. It says, "My dog ate my homework, and then an immigrant ate my dog."
Ate my dog.
But what this there's also been people that have basically come out and said stuff, and it's really quite heart-rending, especially when you hear testimonies like this.
Of Springfield, Ohio. Listen to what she has to say.
This shit ain't no joke. It's not funny. I really do not feel fucking safe here, bro. Like, everyone on TikTok, on Facebook, making these jokes to get everything's fucking funny. Like, imagine you being homeless for a whole fucking year for no fucking reason. Like, what the fuck? This shit is not fun. This shit is not cool, bro. They really out here decapitating animals and y'all are making jokes out of it. Imagine if you went outside and you saw your dog's head decapitated on the fucking ground. Like, why y'all thinking this shit's a joke? It's not a joke. I don't feel comfortable walking anywhere. Like, what the fuck? I should be able to feel safe in my own city. Everybody's fucking homeless out here. Ain't shit but fucking scary ass Haitians just lurking and creeping and shit. Y'all thinking this shit's motherfucking funny? Like, keep making.
All right, we'll leave it there because it's really hard. But yeah.
And yeah, look, we've seen, we've got the mayor and, the police commissioner are all going, oh, it's not happening, this, that, and the other. But hey, when you talk to the sheriff, all right, and watch his interview, it's all going on, guys. Don't you worry, all right?
And somebody from Ohio said that they actually they managed to somehow disappear all of the migrants when the television stations arrived to film it.
Yep.
She said, I don't know how they've done it or where they've gone. She said, but they used to, every morning there's a lineup around the block from the welfare center. She said, they're all gone. She said, they're all gone. So, yeah, but they managed to do it to clean up the joint.
They've got them, mate.
Magically.
They've all got phones. They've all got, like, some of these people, one lady I saw, actually she could have been talking on a space or something. But anyway, one of these immigrants used their card, right? And it tells you, like, what's left on the card or something, right? There's an amount left, a balance account, right? And she said, like, $5,000 at a time these people are getting. And the American citizen can't get anything, can't even get their medical. And they're giving them $5,000 cards and they just fill them at will. Spend it, we fill it.
Look, the world is turning around, though. Like, you've got situations like Sweden is actually going to pay people to re-migrate back now, and it's like $31,000. You've also got this. Peter Sweden's posted the EU has fined Hungary €200 million for refusing to open their borders. Now Germany's introducing border controls. The Netherlands is to declare a state of emergency and opt out of the EU Migration Pact. So you've got that. Plus, you've also got Sweden. You've also got other countries as well. I think Switzerland's doing something to try and curb it as well. So it's like it's not that migration isn't a problem. Migration is good. It's the way that they're doing it. They're just basically flooding us and basically trying to demoralize us in the process.
Well done, Dan. Legend, mate. We've all got to give away this Chinese platform and get over to Project Matilda and support Daniel, guys. All right. Seriously, yeah. Well done, guys. Thank you. Excellent. We got another mission for you this week too. You're going to love it. All right. So yeah.
Dump Facebook.
Dump Facebook. Yeah, let's dump Facebook. We'll keep going there to pick up people, you know what I mean? But yeah, let's, anyone that's awake, you shouldn't be watching on here. You should be on Project Matilda, hopefully, if not Rumble, Twitter, whatever. But yeah, Project Matilda instead of Facebook, guys, for sure. I know you all like your own little programs, but yeah.
All right, here's Beck's Flyers.
If you're near one of these locations, we encourage you to get down there and show your support. First up, we've got Mondays at Maggie's. Mondays from 11 a.m. Macquarie Street, Sydney at the Governor's House. Also, every morning at 10 a.m, meet at the National Rock Gardens in Canberra for the Governors again. Every Saturday, Little Burley Markets, Forest of the Fallen, Canberra, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday, Daily Prayer Space with Melissa. The details for that one are on the flyer. On the 18th of September at the Tingalpa Hotel, dinner at 6 p.m. Sorry for my pronunciation. Music by Zach Kelly. It's a Smiley Face Fatigues book release by Brady Gunn. On Monday, the 16th of September at 8:30 p.m, I'll be doing a Beyond the Deceptions episode with the suspended Dr. William Bay. It'll be good to get an update with what's going on with APRA and find out what we can do to help. On September 21st from midday in Kinglake, West Victoria, Forest for the People rally. Save public use of public land and stop the Great Forest National Park. Also on Saturday, 21st of September, is Matt Lawson speaking at the Carisbrook Senior Citizens Hall, starting at 2 p.m. On Monday, 23rd of September at 7 p.m, sharp till 9 p.m, at My Place in Frankston, Time to Rise with Craig Cole. Now, this one is a while away, but just wanted to give you all a heads up. 2nd of November in Canberra, there's people starting to plan a convoy to head down and support the Canberra crew down there that have been at the Governor's for 1,000 days on the 2nd of November.
All right, now I've been told that there's no camping at Black Mountain, but there is camping at Epic. Oh, what a terrible thing that is.
Well, we should be able to camp where we want to camp, and if it's huge, anyway, we'll see what happens there, guys. We're another couple of things are going on around that date that I'll make some phone calls and then talk to you about. But anyway, we'll see, or maybe not talk to you about. I'll make the phone calls first.
All right. I think what we'll do is we might actually bring, let's do the whole Trump assassination thing. Let's go with that.
Now in a state of war, not just with Russia, after Biden authorized NATO to start using U.S.-made heavy missiles to start bombing Russia next week. No, they just tried to kill Trump again. They had their cover story that it was gang crossfire, but Trump wasn't killed. But the media all put it out the second the news broke, even though the Secret Service and others were saying, no, the guy was shooting at Trump. They had to tackle him and return fire, and thank God he didn't kill him. That's twice this has happened. God's hand is on President Trump. Top Democrats have said they're not going to accept the Trump win. They're going to have civil war conditions. We're at war with the deep state. They're at war with us. They've dissolved our borders. They're destroying our dollar. We're under globalist attack. They're allied with the Communist Chinese and others. And Trump has to take this very seriously. I told him they'll try to kill him on his golf course or blow up his plane. Trump has to address America and has to understand that if he doesn't come out and point out the deep states behind this, clearly in Butler and now, it's overwhelmingly clear, just from the media having their pre-scripted information both times in Pennsylvania and now in Florida, that's the tell right there. They're going to keep trying over and over again until they succeed.
All right, so you've got Alex Jones saying that now, there's some really odd things happening, and I can't quite figure them out. But this is now David Curtin's reporting that World War III is on hold because Biden refuses Starmer's request for permission to fire British Storm Shadow missiles at Russia. So you've got that situation, but they're dead set keen on trying to kick off World War III. But then you've got things like that happening, and then you've got this situation as well. You can see why Starmer wants to kick something off. Here he is. He's being booed.
They got to go around all the candidates to see who's going to take the pressure to actually kick something off here.
That's right. And then Ian Carroll has done some research on the Rolf
assassin just dropped, and there's some spicy details already. Ryan Routh, very strange guy who's lived a very strange life. And this time, the internet was wise and archived all of his socials as much as possible before the FBI took it all down. So here's some basics on what we know about him, and one really interesting rabbit hole about who he might be. Right off the bat, though, it's super early. This is all speculative. Take your time, pump the brakes. We're just digging through dirty laundry. We don't know what sticks yet. But this guy is a private American citizen who traveled to Ukraine on his own dime, to help recruit civilian soldiers to fight for Ukraine and Afghan special forces. He was recruiting on his Facebook page. Here's an archive of all of his tweets that look pretty damn automated to me. They pretty much all look like this. In a past life in Hawaii, he apparently ran this company that made a single tiny home and a single Facebook page and never did anything else with it. Super weird. But I grabbed everyone that he followed on Twitter before they deleted it. He only followed 60. And right down at the bottom of that list, which I think indicates his first follow, is this girl named Sue Kim, who is ex-CIA, along with some other very interesting things. Now, again, reminder, this is just speculation, digging through Twitter dirt. Maybe this chick is just a wonderful, patriotic person that's helping America. Who knows? But her account is private, meaning why does he follow her? I've been digging around, and one of my followers said that they found her in the people that follow him back. I have not been able to confirm that for myself because they took the account down. If you've got a video of the 1.2 thousand followers that followed him, that would be great to know. He says that she was at the bottom of his followed list, meaning that she followed him right when he made the account. That would make sense, seeing as she's at the bottom of his following list of who he follows too. I mean, every asset needs a handler. And when you go through some of these other affiliations here, you get what is essentially the CIA training grounds at Johns Hopkins University. It explores the relationship between politics and the many kinds of military power, from the use of terror by small non-state groups to the threatened use of nuclear weapons. Its director is John McLaughlin, who is literally an ex-acting director of the CIA and ex-deputy director of the CIA, 3-decade career at the CIA. David is third on the Facebook page.
He goes on there, and he outlines it. He goes into quite a bit of depth there. Okay, now also, however, Roth's son has come out and said that my father, like any normal person, hates Trump, but he would never be violent or do anything violent. Doesn't even own a gun. There was the gun that was found, not just any gun, an AK-47. I think it was an AR, but with AK-47.
AK, yeah.
Found in the bushes that he apparently used. But then Z Media, Maria Z, well done to you. She's actually discovered this, and this is the woman who tweeted the following: is yet another assassination attempt. She goes, now this is Rachel Vindman. She goes, no ears were harmed. Carry on with your Sunday afternoon. Rachel Vindman is actually followed by Julie Inman Grant.
There you go.
It's always the
all
same
the Nazis hang together, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's always the same group of players, and it's really interesting. Now, also, there's been some association with weapons of mass destruction with that person.
Operation Paperclip Revisited, Cazz.
It's very strange, isn't it? There's a lot of really strange stuff, and I would say, I mean, can anyone say patsy? Because obviously someone had foreknowledge of it, because you've got this situation. Now, this is time signaling, I would say. It would be my opinion. And it's Time. This is Time magazine. It was put out 4 days ago. Time in trouble. And it's got Trump looking like he's going down what do you call those things? A hole, is it? A bunker in the golf cart. So a lot of really interesting stuff there regarding that.
Well, we'll see. But yeah, it was definitely an assault rifle, Philip. Yeah, whether it was AK, AR, I thought I saw AK, but anyway, I could be wrong.
So anyway,
it was a gun.
It was a gun. It was a big gun. But there's lots of indicators that are showing that things are happening in the background, and the reason being is these people just don't step down. So you've got this situation. Reuters is reporting that Britain says that he's stepping down as part of France's EU commissioner, siding spat with von der Leyen. So you've got a lot of really weird things going on at the moment that just don't make sense. Especially when you see people resigning from jobs which pay them millions of dollars per year.
Well, there could be a lot going on, Cazz, because my barber said that, middle of next week could be a crunch time. So, if you're going to listen to the barber, that's why all this backroom chatter will be going on. Just saying.
Could be. Now, Babylon B has hit it out of the park again. The DAG warns if Trump is elected, he will do to them all of the stuff that they're doing to him.
Well, yeah, probably a fair call, eh? What do you reckon?
I think so. All right, I wanted to bring this in so that you could see that there's a lot going on. We might just go a little bit over time here.
Yep.
All right, this is Eric Swalwell having a meltdown about
what in
this.
the hell is this? The chairman tweets, "Protect our ducks and kittens in Ohio," because he goes down some crazy rabbit hole, completely debunked that aliens are eating pets. My God.
All right. So now what I wanted to say about this is listen to the lack of conviction in his voice.
Over-exaggeration.
Over-exaggeration. How he's acting. Okay. And he doesn't even like he continues on with it as well. Like, so yeah. Oh, I don't know where the tab is now.
Still there.
I've got like 500 tabs open up here.
Are you got it. Okay, Mr. Chairman? Because last year, for a very
Are you okay, Mr. Chairman?
very long time, you tweeted and promoted Kanye West as he was calling for genocide against the Jews, and you kept it up. And now, when we have victims coming here, you're tweeting this nonsense.
All right. So, when actors are untrained, what they do is they think they're acting and they're over the top. So my question is he doing this because he's under an NDA contract with the White Hats? Or is he doing this because he's genuinely trying to make a big deal out of this situation? Because he knows that it's going to backfire him, because he knows that social media is going to have all of the ducks. They've got videos of migrants taking a goose, walking down the street with a geese, to take home. So very interesting. So actually, Peter, it wouldn't win an Emmy. It's actually very bad acting, but it's what people do who don't know how to act, who have never done any training. It's how they act. It's way over the top, and they think they've got to convince everyone.
They do.
So that's right.
They do. They have to try and convince people because they know Trump's going to win this thing hands down, and that's why they've had another shot. Hey, these things come in threes, guys. It's not over yet. All right, I'm telling you, this ain't over yet. Right? I guarantee you there will be another attempt somewhere. But they have to. Miss the third one. I think they're in trouble then. I think that's it. 3 strikes, you're out. I think you'll see, the game plan change and the positions turn.
All right. The outro that I've got is actually a bit long. So if you want to wrap up, and I'll go and grab another one.
Yeah, well, guys, we were talking. We've got Cam out there from up the Northern Rivers way. And Cam's been doing a few live streams just around his town, guys. And he's, had 1,000 views or something. So what I want to say is this week, this is your task for the week. If you were prepared to take it, I'm not telling you what to do. What I'd like to see you do is when you get half an hour or an hour this week, all right, I want you to go to your personal Facebook page and I want you to light up a live stream on your Facebook. All right, hang on. We're going to go back to Facebook. Okay, we're using it for a specific reason, guys. All right, on your Facebook or your Instagram or your TikTok, just go live. And when a few people click in, because they will, because curiosity killed the cat, right? So people will click in and go, "Oh, what's Mary Lou doing going live?" Start talking about the disinformation bill, guys, and start asking the question. Have you heard the same thing as me? Is it true that we're not going to be able to talk about what we want to talk about anymore with fear of going, get a few conversations going, ask a few questions, start asking people, if you don't want to go straight into that, just go into, I'm just seeing strange stuff out there, guys. What's going on? Are you seeing the same thing? What's happening to our government? How come we can't afford to live? How come my kids, are hungry because I can't get enough food in the house? Start asking the questions, guys. So what do you reckon we all do, right? Live, everybody, whatever program you want to use it. All right, but go out there, get the conversation going, guys. All right. Thanks again for the whistleblower. All right. The people that are involved in that, getting more orders in, get them out there, guys. This is where you need to shine. All right. And the quicker you shine, the quicker we wake up the rest of the people out there and get as many players on the field as we can, the quicker we can move forward and take our trophy. let's get stuck into the week, guys. Thank you. Hope you all had a great weekend.
All right. Actually, what we'll do is we'll play the one that Mel sent over. I'm just trying to get calls in. There we go. That one.
Yeah,
right,
well,
Sky Angel Cowboy.
had lunch with Mum today
Voice
too,
of
guys.
a little
But
boy
listen to this.
who called a radio station to share a story and a lesson that God showed him. A message that has now captured the world's attention.
This is 13-year-old Logan Henderson. He lives on a ranch in the middle of Nebraska. Isolated from much of the world, he often listens to KSBJ Christian radio out of Houston, Texas, which he picks up on Sky Angel. In late October, Logan made a call to the station that would soon be heard around the world.
Hey, Mike, can I talk to you?
You bet, Logan. What's up?
I want to tell you something that God just told me.
Okay.
Last night, my dad was roping this calf. And this calf had been born from a really old cow. She didn't have really the greatest milk. She didn't have, like, the vitamin C and stuff.
Okay.
She broke her back. And this morning I went out and put her down myself. I was talking to God. I was asking God why she was special. And God said, you know, Logan, my son was special, but he died for a purpose. It's kind of the same thing. That calf was close to me, and God's son was close to him.
Logan, you're so right. It's true. Think you're gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine. But I wanted to tell you guys that is so important. Just remember, when you lose a loved one or a pet, always remember that God gave his son too, and he understands. He will always understand. He will always just run to him.
Logan, you're wiser than you know, buddy.
Oh, I just figured I'd better call and share with you guys. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
KSBJ posted the conversation on their website.
The next thing we know, our listeners are sending it all over the world.
KSBJ says at least 13 million people have seen it on their website and millions more on YouTube and GodTube.
For some reason, the connection between God and his son dying and how God knows what it's like. That's what Logan said. He knows. Just run to him. That immediately took that gap away, and anything that was between them and God was completely erased.
Logan is here in Houston this week, meeting the DJs, talking to some of his fans, and meeting many of the folks who've been so blessed by his message of God's love. Logan says he's living proof that God can use anybody.
God can use you even when you feel, you feel low and you feel, oh, God's never going to use me. I'm just a piece of dirt. He'll actually use you, You're not a piece of dirt to God, you're a piece of gold.
His parents, Mike and TJ, are in awe of what God is doing through their son.
We really knew that he had a gift for communication, and we knew that he was very familiar with God's Word, and to see it come together like that is truly amazing.
Logan's fans include Christian rock group Third Day, who posted Logan's clip on their website. They're also Logan's favorite Christian band, and God brought them all together in Houston, where Third Day was performing. Logan says he loves life on the ranch, but also loves to encourage people and preach the gospel. One thing's for certain, the sky's the limit for this Sky Angel cowboy.